He swore to the sky in silence that he wouldn't return, that he would bury your memory in a drawer he'd never open again. And yet, something happened. Last night wasn't ordinary. The angels say a veil was lifted, not around you, but inside him. A dream, a whisper, a flicker of something he couldn't name, but he felt you. Strongly. Sacredly. This wasn't a longing of the flesh. It was your soul brushing against his in the night. And it woke him. There are meetings we don't choose. There are connections so ancient that no amount of silence can break. Yours is one of them. You weren't placed in his path to be forgotten. You were the disruption in his logic. The heartbeat in his stillness. The softness he didn't know he was allowed to want. The angels say, she is not your past. She is the door you refuse to open. You, dear soul, were never a detour. You were a sacred assignment. And last night, heaven whispered it into his spirit, return. She holds what you lost in yourself. You were not a mistake in his story. You were the beginning he feared to live. And now, he knows. He will turn the hearts of the fathers to the children, and the hearts of the children to their fathers. Malachi 4 verse 6. He is not avoiding you. He is hiding from himself. What you saw as indifference was a shield. What felt like rejection was protection, not of you, but of the aching, trembling parts inside him that never learned how to be held. The angels say, he runs not because of the absence of love, but because the presence of love terrifies him. There are wounds buried in his silence. Memories he never shared. Rooms in his heart he never unlocked, not even alone. And somehow, without even trying, you stood at the door of them all, with light. You didn't cause his fear. You simply illuminated it. And now, he doesn't know whether to run from the fire or let it melt his armor. He tells himself stories to make sense of his withdrawal. That he's not ready. That it's not the right time. That you're too much, too close, too real. But the truth is simpler, more human. He's afraid of what it would mean to be seen, and still be loved. You didn't scare him. You revealed him. And not everyone is ready to be revealed. The angels say, this isn't about you failing. This is about him awakening, slowly, unevenly, painfully, to what he never dared to want. You don't have to disappear to be chosen. Somewhere along your path, you were taught that love must be earned through silence, sacrifice, or shrinking. But that was a lie born from someone else's fear, not your truth. The angels want you to remember, you were not made to dim. You were made to burn in full bloom. You gave him your presence, your softness, your trust, and still he hesitated. Not because you lacked something, but because he didn't know how to receive something so whole. And that, beloved soul, is not yours to fix. You do not need to bend yourself backwards to be held forward. You do not need to erase your needs to make space for someone else's confusion. The angels are pouring this into you now. You are not too much. You are finally enough for yourself. This season is sacred. Not as a waiting room for someone else, but as a mirror for you to remember the woman you've always been, radiant, resilient, and worthy without condition. He may come back. He may not. But you must never again go missing inside your own life. Your light was not given for barter. It was given for being. Stand in it. You showed him what no one else dared to see. Not the version he presents to the world. Not the polished strength or the calculated charm. You saw the flicker. The ache. The boy beneath the man. And you loved him anyway. And that, dear soul, undid him. The angels say, you were the mirror he spent a lifetime avoiding. Your presence made him feel seen in ways he wasn't prepared for. You reflected not just his beauty, but also the parts he locked away, the longing, the doubt, the tenderness he tried to bury under years of control. You didn't try to fix him. You simply stayed. And that is what frightened him most, being held where he felt most breakable. He pulled away not out of pride, but panic. Because in your gaze, there were no masks left to wear. And love like that, raw, unfiltered, forgiving, demands a kind of courage he's still learning to carry. He didn't expect you to touch his soul. But you did. Quietly. Deeply. Irrevocably. And now, every time he looks in the mirror, he sees the man he wants to become, because once, you saw him as if he already were. The angels whisper, he runs not from you, but from the reflection you left behind. He started to feel you, even without understanding why. Last night, he reached for a name in his sleep, and it was yours. Not in words, but in pulse, in breath, in the way his soul stirred against his chest like a song returning. The angels reveal, his spirit is waking before his mind can comprehend it. There is a quiet unraveling happening. In the spaces where he once felt certainty, now there is you. A whisper in crowded rooms. A silence that suddenly feels full. A longing that has no explanation, only direction. He's remembering you, without memory. Something you said, the way your eyes held his doubt without judgment, it lingers. Not like a thought, but like a fragrance that keeps returning long after the door has closed. He's beginning to notice what no longer satisfies. Conversations feel dull. Distractions fall flat. The life he once built without you now echoes in emptiness. This is not logic. This is spirit. The angels say, there is a pull he cannot name, a calling he cannot mute, and your name is woven through it all. His awakening is not loud, but it is real, and it has begun. He comes back because he feels. He pulls away because he fears. It's not a game. It's not manipulation. It's the echo of a heart torn between the safety of solitude and the risk of surrender. The angels say, he is at war with the very thing that could heal him. When he returns, it's never casual. It's because something inside him couldn't bear the silence. A scent, a memory, a dream, and suddenly, he's in your energy again. Not by choice, but by gravity. But when he feels too much, he retreats. Not because you overwhelmed him, but because he doesn't know how to stay open when everything inside him screams for armor. You are not the reason for the distance. You are the reason he dares to get close at all. This pattern, the reaching, the retreating, it's not sustainable. And you know it. But don't confuse his confusion for absence of care. He feels. Deeply. The angels urge, do not shrink to fit his rhythm. Rise into your own. He must choose healing over hiding. Love over fear. You can't make him. But you can stop spiraling into the cycle. Let his pauses be his. And your peace be yours. You healed him, without trying. Not with grand gestures or perfect words, but by being. By showing up with softness in a world that taught him to brace. By listening when he expected silence. By seeing him when he only knew how to disappear. The angels say, your love did what logic never could. It reached the wound beneath the wound. You didn't know you were touching his deepest ache. You didn't know how many nights he spent believing no one could hold his pain without flinching. And then, there you were. Not fixing. Not fleeing. Just loving. He still doesn't know how to name it. But he feels it. Your energy disrupted the narrative. That he was too much. Too broken. Unworthy. You looked at him and didn't see fragments. You saw wholeness, before he even dared to imagine it. And now, something in him is shifting. Because your love wasn't a transaction. It was transmission. A silent medicine whispered through presence. Through patience. Through truth. He's beginning to believe he could be safe. Not in solitude, but in connection. The angels whisper, he may never say it, but your love rewrote something sacred inside him. And that, beloved, is more than enough. Let this be your prayer. May the love I give always return to me multiplied in light, in peace, in truth. What feels like delay is divine preparation. Heaven is not late. It is precise. And though your heart aches in the silence, the angels say, God is not withholding. He is weaving. You cannot rush a soul into readiness. You cannot summon healing with force. What you can do, what you've already done, is plant truth in a heart that forgot it was worthy of blooming. The angels show me scenes, him looking at old photos, rereading a message he never responded to, walking in circles with your name caught in the air around him. He doesn't understand why you linger. But you do. You understand the language of the unseen. You've been sensing the stirrings, the preparation, the quiet orchestration. Every moment that seemed stagnant was sacred soil. Every silence, a space for spirit to move. The angels declare, you are not waiting. You are being positioned. Not for crumbs. Not for confusion. But for clarity. For covenant. For the kind of connection that doesn't fade when tested, but deepens. You were never forgotten. For the vision is yet for an appointed time. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. Habakkuk 2 verse 3. He feels everything, but still doesn't know how to show it. There's a softness in him that aches to reach you, and yet his hands tremble before they ever lift. He wants to speak, the words swell behind his silence, but fear builds walls faster than love can knock. The angels whisper, his love is real. His fear is ancient. He rehearses your name in the dark. He wonders if you think of him when the sky changes colors. He remembers the way your eyes didn't demand anything, just invited. And that terrifies him, because you didn't ask for masks. You asked for him. And he's still learning how to exist outside of armor. You aren't wrong for feeling his pull. You're sensing the truth of his battle. This is not a lack of emotion. It is a flood too wide for his current vessel. He avoids, not because he doesn't care, but because your love cracks him open. And inside, it's still storming. The angels are with him. They're softening the edges, warming the stone. But they want you to know, you are not his rescue. You are his mirror. Hold your light. Don't dim it waiting for him to stand in it. Let your radiance be a refuge, not a rescue. What is yours does not need to be chased, only recognized. There is a holy stillness in this truth, a surrender that doesn't mean giving up, but growing deeper roots in the unseen. You have given, opened, waited, prayed. And now, the angels say, rest. You are not behind. Love does not always arrive dressed in perfect timing. Sometimes, it comes as interruption. Sometimes, as silence. And still, it is love. He may not yet understand the gravity of what you are. But heaven does. You were placed in his story not to save him, but to remember yourself. You do not have to prove your worth through patience, or bargain your value for return. The angels want you to receive this. You are the answered prayer, not the one waiting to be chosen. Let the love that is meant for you rise without force. Let it recognize you by the scent of your soul, not the sound of your longing. The one who is truly yours will meet you in truth, not confusion. The story may bend, but the ending is always divine. And we know that all things work together for good to them that love God, to them who are the called according to his purpose. Romans 8 verse 28.